Hey everybody, Jordan here with Linux Survival. So today we're going to talk about EDC. And like I said before, we're getting more into preparedness-minded videos because survival bushcraft, as much as I love that subject and teaching it to you guys, at least helping you guys understand stuff better, it's one pillar in the whole over arc of being prepared, right? Or preparedness, right? So we're getting into more preparedness stuff. So EDC, good place to start. Why should you carry some kind of EDC setup? Well, EDC, or everyday carry, is carrying some type of tools that you think, depending on your environment and your lifestyle and what you would perceive as, okay, this could go wrong today. That's a possible threat. I'm going here, so I have to pack this. Whatever it's going to be, guys. It's just basically your, I will say, minimalist tool set, if you will, that you can carry on your person, not in a bag, not on your back, whatever, right? What you can carry on your person, basically on your belt, in your pockets, shirt pockets, whatever, that you can carry with you, okay? That's what it is. So standing up, I just got my triangle bandage here, got my undershirt, overshirt, got my blue jeans on, got my work boots, and I got my Go-Go Gadget belt on me as well. Minus one thing, I don't have my belt right now, and that is this thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. So here we go. Starting in no particular order, we'll start with medical, okay? Medical is pretty practical to carry with you. I'd recommend carrying at least some boo-boo Band-Aids. Actually, I don't got my wallet on me, but in my wallet I carry at least 4 different types of like the medium-sized Band-Aids, that, you know, the average size, if you will, Band-Aid. In case you nick your finger on something, your kid falls down on the curb, skins their knees, cries, you feel bad about it, so you take care of them like you should as a good parent, right? Yes. So, anyways, get a little Band-Aid. You know, maybe someone else's kid did that. You're like, hey, not to be weird, but here's a Band-Aid. You know, be a nice person. Be a good person. So there's the very basic stuff like that. You can carry some like antibiotic ointment if you want to. I don't, but whatever. So from there, let's get into more serious medical here, okay? So your friend John trips on a log and scrapes his leg really bad. It's a deep cut. It's bleeding. Oh, guess what? Jordan doesn't wear a bandana because he's balding. Nope, I got a full luscious head of hair. But my thing is this, though. I carry a triangle bandage with me. Oh, cool. And also doubles to keep bugs off my freaking head because it's annoying. So not only can you use this as a sling, just by tying off the corner here, wrapping it over, and now you can have a sling. If you're high speed, you can have 2 of these on you. And you can have it all set up and ready to go, unlike me, because I'm a slacker. And you can create a pressure bandage by itself, depending on the size of the cut, right? So we put it on there, pull it over, and we tie it off like so. Obviously, you're going to double tie this so it doesn't come loose, but there's that option. Now, speaking of what's in our pockets and carrying with bleeding, I do carry a roll of gauze. Not a wool. Wow, I know English, I promise. A roll of gauze. You can actually sit there. You can use it for any type of bleeding anywhere on your body, but you can say, take this out, roll into whatever amount you need, what you think you need, throw it on there, take it, create the pressure bandage that way as well. Obviously, you're going to take it out of the bag. Don't leave it in the bag. So, let's start with the bag, though. The bag itself, the surface isn't holy. The bottom is because it broke, but whatever. Point is, though, the bag itself could be used as a makeshift, kind of crappy, but makeshift chest seal. Say that, you know, John got shot by accident out hunting, whatever. It's a sucking chest wound. He's getting the hemothorax or pneumothorax. Not a good situation. You didn't bring your medical stuff because why bother when we go do stuff in the world, right? I don't get people either. But my thing is this, so you see off the back, 4 sides all taped up. Or if you don't have duct tape, you can hold it with your hand. This side right here, you can hold it with your hand as well, but you're going to eventually kind of lift up one side to be a flutter valve so you can relieve pressure inside the chest cavity. So from there, you can carry that. Now, being a little more advanced with that, say that someone has a bad laceration on their arm, or they broke their arm, whatever it's going to be, right, and it's just spurting blood. Okay, if you see blood spurting out of somebody, that's an arterial bleed, more than likely. 99% sure that's what it is. So it's bleeding really bad, or it can even be oozing blood like crazy, like a little faucet. That's a venous bleed. That can be serious too. Okay, the next things, guys, that we're going to have in our back pocket is going to be a Ta-da! Cat tourniquet. You guessed it. But a cat tourniquet, guys, in a serious manner. Why a cat tourniquet? Well, again, what if this is a very serious bleed? Okay, high and tight. No longer are we doing the weird sit there and go like 2, 3 finger spaces above. Nope, just high and tight, guys. One in there. Pull this as taut as you can without it moving out, so it's a little difficult one hand. Take the windlass and you turn the faucet off, as I was taught to say. Turn the faucet off. Get the windlass in the C-clamp right there. Take the tail end, hold it over. Take the tab, go to the other side, to the other C-clamp. Hope you guys can see that. So it's like that. And then what you want to do is you want to check, I guess before you secure this, or you can redo it again if you already did, like I did. Check the radial pulse, which is a weird angle on this camera. Check there. Because obviously it's going to be here on this where the tourniquet is. It's going to be there, but my watch is in the way. So what you want to do is feel that for at least 30 seconds and go, okay, I don't feel a pulse. Not, I don't think I feel a pulse. You don't feel a pulse. That way, blood flow stopped right here. And they're not going to continue to bleed and lose that precious blood. So, there's that. Now, the old advice, too, of, oh, well, we gotta relieve pressure every 2 hours. Okay, TCCC has done a lot of studying since the War on Terror, and they've actually found out, hey, this actually isn't that big of a deal to leave these on for an extended period of time. However, caveat, I am not a medical professional. I just simply work in healthcare with a bunch of medical professionals. And asking them this question, they're like, yeah, no, that's fine. We have people that do that all the time. Along with that, I did take an EMT training course or class back in 2018, and we went over tourniquets quite extensively. So moving on from there, that's my personal experience. I'm not saying I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not an EMS professional, but just some dude that's had some training here and there in his life. Now, that's medical. Now, to get a little more practical and advanced, I do carry this on my back here and there with me. I'm really trying to get used to carrying it all the time. This is a homemade kit. This isn't something you buy because I didn't feel like spending $60 on it. Well, today I'm making a video. So I just simply took a cargo pocket from an old pair of Flectaren BDUs that don't fit me anymore. Yes, it got fatter from high school. Laugh it up, whatever. But the point being, I have a pouch that is water resistant. And inside I have a plastic bag. Oh, look! More chest seals, and actually the chest seals in the camera view too. Let's start with that. You have an actual hyphen chest seal, and no, folding it does not ruin it. It's okay. You can fold these up all you want. And look, it has instructions on the back. So perfect. Again, you're going to have an actual chest seal on the back and the front if it's a through and through, or just on the front if it's just, say, like a stick went into somebody, or they got stabbed, unfortunately. God, we forbid. Now, on top of that, I do simply carry a Surgi pad and a smaller gauze pad that's non-stick. Along with that, I carry an NPA. Awesome. You guys are like, wow, Jordan, you're some high-speed dude. Thank you, but that's not necessarily true because I did have duct tape in here as well, just a small roll of it, but I took it out because I needed to duct tape a flour bag. And I forgot to put it in there before I made this video and come out here. But my thing is this, though, carry some duct tape with you. Gorilla brand, preferably, and quite honestly, the only kind you can use. Chest hair, beware. That's all I have to say. So, throw it on there. They do make professional blowout kits, guys. But like I said, I didn't feel like paying $60+ for a video. But just note, there are professional-made blowout kits you can buy. For example, this rip-away panel that you can wear on your backpack, on your pants, whatever, that is from my actual Orca Tactical rip-away EMT pouch. Why Orca Tactical? They were having a sale that day, and I've been carrying it through the woods, and it's been rubbing against trees, on the ground, the snow, muck, whatever, rain, and it's been doing fine for, like, I think 3 years now, if not more. Cool. Whatever. I don't feel like spending $400 on an IFAC. Plus, my wife knows this, so she's a seamstress by trade, so if it breaks, I can just have her repair it, so whatever. Have things to repair stuff. So it sits on your belt like this, guys. Put it on my hands, my belt. And then what I like to do with these D-rings here, I actually have a quick links that actually sits right to my belt, or carabiner you can carry, whichever. And you now have more of a robust and capable blowout kit with you on your person. I'd recommend doing that. Now, let's go from medical to self-defense, kind of a 180 on the spectrum here. So what I like to carry for self-defense per se, or what I have for self-defense, I'd rather say, is my work knife. Okay, if I can't get to my firearm or I can't use it because there's too many people, I'm not confident. Whatever the situation is, there's like a million and one, right? But let's talk about the knife, right? This was made by a former employer of mine. Good dude. Okay, it's convex grind because I like my convex grinds, even though I'm actually starting to like scanty grinds better, but that's just me. Stupid flies, get out of here. It's full tang, guys. I personally prefer a full tang with a leather sheath, and I'll explain to you. Anyways, so the reason why I like full tang knives is because, one, they're more robust than folding knives. I understand technology is advancing, that we're making folding knives more and more robust themselves. They're becoming more reliable and not prone to breaking. But if I find myself in a survival situation and I have to use a baton, am I going to baton my folding knife, or am I going to be more confident batoning this? You tell me. So from there, I also like a good leather sheath. I like the clip personally, not the belt loop. Belt loops kind of limit where you can put this, obviously, so it's either going to be a neck knife or some kind of weird lanyard carry. I like this because I can hook it in my backpack, which I never do anyways. I can use it as a neck knife if I want to. I usually just have it ride right on my pocket, right where I can reach it, no problem. Now, self-defense situation, sure, that's really handy. More practical working on the farm, it's really handy because I don't have to go, oh, I got to reach around here or around my pistol or whatever, because I always carry. It's just a fact of life, I always carry. So that knife, right? Carry a knife with you. A good, solid, reliable knife. Reliable. I know English, I promise. But my thing is this, though. Depending on your local laws, depending on what country you're from, depending on whatever else, okay? Follow the laws with all this stuff. I carry a self-defense firearm, okay? This is my Ruger SR40. Yes, it's loaded, and yes, the safety's off. That's how I carry it. You don't like it, I don't really care. Go cry to somebody else, because I honestly don't give two shits. Along with that, I like to carry one spare magazine, hollow point. I don't know the grain of it. I can't remember. I think it's a 145 grain bullet. No, 165 grain, excuse me, is what I carry. Jacket at hollow point. Why? Because hollow points are good. The full metal jackets are for target practice. I don't care what you tell me. No, you don't need a full metal jacket to penetrate a bear skull. That's a little bunk. Now, I understand there's also the saying of like, oh, call your local law enforcement agency, see what they're carrying. Good solid advice, because what people kind of fail to realize with the self-defense talk is, okay, I can get in a knife fight with somebody in the parking lot of Walmart, which I never want to in the first place, Yahweh forbid, or anywhere, because that can go south for both parties or one party very quickly, right? So if you die, you don't have to worry about the after effects. The after effects, though, whether you use a firearm or a knife, that can be a very long and expensive process. So be prepared for that, and you got to really think, okay? You can always opt for less lethal options, say pepper gel, not pepper spray, because funny story, I bought my wife pepper spray from Walmart, like a little $10 can of it. Funny story here. I went outside to go test the range and accuracy of it. I'm like, oh, gee, I wonder. So I sprayed like a tree maybe 10 feet away from me. Random wind out of nowhere kicked up, and I just seen on the porch light this big orange cloud come towards me. I'm like, well, this sucks, and right into my face it went. That's why I don't recommend pepper spray, because if there's a wind or you're rolling around, whatever, and you're trying to spray them up close, you're going to get some of that effect too, and you can blind or temporary, I shouldn't say blind, but you can disorient yourself at the same time. So on top of that, pepper gel actually sits there. It's a big, thick stream, and it sticks to the person. Way better. Just recommend pepper gel, okay? Now that's why I carry self-defense. My self-defense spiel, guys, I guess. Now my EDC pouch here, guys. I'll throw that video up here so you guys can watch it. It's literally the same stuff, guys. It's 3 different ways to make fire: magnifying glass, ferrocene rod, a big lighter wrapped in duct tape. There's that. Along with that, does it have some fat wood in there? It's got some jute twine as well for the ferrocene rod. And on top of that, it does have the flashlight. It's a Coast HX5. If you guys are curious, it's single cell, double A. I like it as a tail switch. You can sit there and you can play with it. You can either halfway press it on for momentary illumination, or you can push it on all the way for permanent illumination until the battery runs out, or you turn it off. And I do have a Leatherman Super Tool 300, because if you carry Gerber, you're garbage, get a Leatherman. With that being said, I do understand that there are some knives on the market. I've been looking at these things and stalking them for a bit online. these knives that have 2 different blades on them and the saw, because being honest, I don't really use much of the tools on the Super Tool 300 as I did when I was a handyman, opposed to what I do now. So whatever benefits you more, right? Plus the Leatherman's like $90+ depending where you look at, and the folding knives I was looking at with the saw blade on it, they actually lock and is good quality, around $40-50. So practically half the price, if not less than half the price. So there's that. Will you get some pliers? No. Do you always need pliers? Not really. But I just like the options of pliers in case I get a fish hook in the hand or on the cheek or whatever can help with that. But there's other means of doing that, so not even delving into that. So I also got a Lansky diamond rod sharpener in there as well, and that's why I like the leather sheath, because you can use the diamond rod sharpener. Is it the best thing ever to do? No. But you can sharpen your knife if it needs it, and then you can actually sit there and strop it with the leather sheath, and then you can hone it with this. It takes a while to hone with this, but it does work. But it takes a while. Now, the only thing really different in this pouch that I carry, I moved my whistle, I guess my survival whistle, into my EDC pouch. Why? Because it's got a button compass on it. And it's actually not bad for, I think, like $10 these whistles are a piece, and it's Cochlins, I don't know how to pronounce this. Here you go. You can read it. And the compass itself is not bad compared to my Sun Tzu MC2. It's actually pretty accurate. It's maybe like a degree or so off per se, but not bad for in general navigation of like, oh, I don't know where I am. I have wood shock. Oh, that way's north. That way's west. This is east, south, whatever, right? Plus, you got a signaling device, the whistle. Get a P-less whistle, not a P whistle, because those things can freeze on you. It's got a thermometer on the back here, guys. I'm trying to get the one thing I'm after. Okay. So here's the thermometer on the back, and this does come with magnifying glass. I still have yet to actually try that to get a fire going with that. So I guess technically now I'm carrying 2 different magnification lenses, if that one works to actually start a fire. So we'll try that. So that's my EDC, guys. That's what I carry with me. I encourage you guys to do the same. EDC, not like, oh, he's carrying this, I need this. Be aware of that, okay? You don't need the next generation Gucci gear crap. You just get what you're skilled with, what you can afford, what you're going to train with. And training is key. With the medical aspect, guys, spend money. Go to a class, right? It doesn't have to be like paramedic level. Just MFR will do. Point being, though, guys, I encourage you, get training in all this stuff, from firearms and self-defense to medical training to survival and bushcraft training. That way, if you're ever caught in a situation where you have to stay overnight, or it's aftermath of a disaster, what it's going to be, right? Or the beginning phases of shit's a fan, whatever. You guys will have some training, some tools on hand, and you can go forth to get back home to wherever your home is, or your base, your rally point, whatever it's going to be, and you guys can proceed from there. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, stay frosty, prep up, yeah, bless.